Hey, maybe you're looking to upgrade, or maybe you have a 5-year-old GPU and can't find a damn GPU to save your life. I've personally been looking for any GPU that's considered an upgrade to buy, and due to the sad state of affairs with GPUs, I haven't had much luck. But don't worry, I will be breaking down exactly when you should look to upgrade your GPU so you can make that decision now. Or maybe later given the current state of affairs. According to Google, the lifespan of a GPU is about 3 to 5 years. But I have a 5-year-old GPU and it runs most of today's titles at 60 FPS plus on high settings. That's the 1070fe. So first, you must ask yourself, based on your game, you can find recommended specs. For example, Call of Duty Cold War has a comprehensive breakdown of required hardware to meet your performance needs. I mean, do your own research. I can't do it all for you guys, but there are some valuable benchmark-based websites like User Benchmark to help you match up performance to what you want in-game. But I would take in-game recommended specs with a grain of salt. They focus on minimum requirements and aren't always updated with the current hardware. And I would also take shill level recommendations from paid reviews with a grain of salt. Nvidia shill. If the most logical upgrade is just right and fits the budget, this could be an easy choice. But with a scalper and mining heavy market, your budget will determine everything. Yeah, GPUs are really expensive right now. Give me some hard numbers on what I should look to spend. Well, right now you would need to fork out some serious dough. We all know the prices are high, and I'll give you this moment of silence to add your complaints in the comments below. Moving on, if we look at 2020 and where I believe 2022 will be heading, we can get some insight like this article from Cool Game Inside. They offer a look at what an average GPU should cost. Now, I made a few small adjustments because retail value has gone up on most cards. Supply and demand, people. Again, this is under normal circumstances. In 2021, those prices are inflated as much as 3 times their value. But for a good rule, be prepared to spend anywhere from the cost of your current GPU to 30% over that cost, depending on your performance needs. Although in some cases, you can spend less. The 1070fe to the 5700 XT in 2020 was a great improvement in performance for a lower cost. So is making a lateral move to a newer but lower model number a safe bet? This question can be asked in any GPU market, and not surprisingly, I have seen it asked a lot recently. So is upgrading from the RX 580 to something like the 1650 or 1660 a smart move because the Turing architecture is newer than the Polaris AMD architecture? Just because it's in stock, especially in 2021, doesn't mean it's worth an upgrade. In fact, the 1650 is a hot pile of trash, so we'll just move right past that. The 1660 isn't too far off. Maybe it's a tad better, but it's far from an actual upgrade. And yes, the architecture is important, but that's depending on when it was released and what you can expect for upgrades. But the Ampere architecture is the main focus for NVIDIA right now. I mean, I would really need an upgrade to make a purchase of a 1660 right now. Where I will make an argument is the 1660 Ti or the 1660 Super. Turing is well developed, and those cards have the backing of some good performance at 1080p for the next 3 years. Which leads me to upgrades based on model year. So if my GPU is from 2017, isn't a 2019 GPU better? Well, no. I mean, maybe in 2019 it made sense, or maybe even 2020, but definitely not 2021, and definitely not for today's price. Look for an upgrade in the actual model lineup that is current. Something with a clear upgrade path towards today's technologies that will be built upon over the next 3 to 5 years, so you aren't forced to upgrade just next year. Right now, you should be looking for these technologies. I think some of these technologies definitely need improvement, but with software updates, you can gain all the benefits of those technologies as they're rolled out. So today in 2021, what is an actual model year upgrade based on the most popular GPU at the moment, which is the 1060 according to Steam? Well, if you fit into that Steam category with the 1060, then it would make sense that you're looking for a 2060 or a 3060, maybe even a Radeon 5600. Do you notice how all those model numbers have a 6 in each one of them? The reason is that AMD and NVIDIA craft these GPU models to be highly competitive against each other in both price and performance. But what if I want to upgrade to 1440p or 4K for my next display? I mean, then look for a better damn card. But if you're buying in 2021, be ready to spend a cool stack of cash, or just give up and buy one of the next gen consoles. I'll murder you. Wow, that escalated quickly. In all seriousness, I've been tempted to buy a used 1080 Ti if I could get my hands on one. An old high-performance card still has some value to it, but that's not all you need when you're upgrading from 1080p to 1440 or 4K. You need to know what display you are using and what technologies you can utilize with that GPU. Like, installing a GPU and hooking up a monitor isn't the only requirement for upgraded performance. So now the question is, can my CPU handle that upgrade, or will it bottleneck my GPU? Yes. Match up those components. An AMD FX CPU or 8th gen Intel CPU just isn't going to cut it for 1440p or 4K graphics cards. What about my RAM? I didn't even think about my RAM. RAM may need an upgrade too. Although this could be simple, it will add a level of cost and definitely affect CPU and GPU performance if it's not right. But since we are specifically talking about GPUs today, I will urge you to subscribe to the channel and watch our other content. This is a long question to answer and needs its own video, which I do plan to make. So subscribe now so you don't miss it. I'll use my PC as an example. When I upgraded to the 5700 XT last year, I ended up upgrading my CPU, my all-in-one cooler, my case, and my RAM. Each step I got better performance in-game without a doubt. I even showed you on the channel. So if you're struggling to find a good pairing, I found this cool Turbo Future article, and I'll put it in the description down below. And it gives you good CPU and GPU combos, and I agree with their choices. But to summarize, here's a good tip for pairing your components. Most entry-level GPUs pair well with current gen Intel i3 or i5 processors and current gen Ryzen 3 or Ryzen 5 processors. In my opinion, Ryzen 3 is reserved for the lowest performance GPU matches only, not mid-range. For high-end GPUs, look to Intel's i7 and i9 models and AMD's Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 9 models. Another quick tip, Ryzen loves fast memory, like 3600 megahertz fast, whereas Intel doesn't benefit as much from fast memory, although it's still on the table nonetheless. What if I already have a similar performance or high performance CPU and RAM? What's the deal there? Then keep it. Or look to upgrade so you can get new technologies like AMD's Smart Access Memory. But don't live in FOMO over every little new feature. Choose what is important to you and your preferences. I say all the better if you don't need to upgrade both or all three. Dude, I came to this video for GPU info, Well, I'll make it real simple for you since your attention span is shorter than most GPU stock announcements. When you're buying a GPU, look for what performance you have and what performance you want to upgrade to. Look for the exact model year to the next or current model year upgrade. Keep in mind new technologies that game developers and manufacturers will be building upon. Don't forget to check if you're going to get bottlenecked in performance anywhere in the system. And finally, since money isn't printed on demand, wait, is it not? Well, to be totally honest, I'm not 100% sure these days, but I can't print it. So back to my point. Make sure the cost is worth the upgrade in the long run. We've all made the impulse buy at one point or another, and we regret it just a few short months later. Just give me the brass tacks. Personally, I wouldn't upgrade a 3 to 5 year old 1070 or anything similar right now. That could change in 6 months, but today I just wouldn't do it. I don't care about the performance, it's more about the cost versus the performance you get. I would, however, upgrade almost any of the 500 series of AMD's GPUs to the 5700 XT and probably any of the 900 series NVIDIA GPUs to a 20 series or better. They just don't have much of today's best technologies, and those upgrades will last another 4 to 5 years for you. I will put some good upgrade comparisons in the description, but be sure to comment what you are planning for your next GPU upgrade and what questions you have around that upgrade. I can definitely help in that area. I'll leave with this. The goal of upgrading your GPU is to not only increase performance, but to take advantage of advancements in technology so you have a better gaming experience. A simple upgrade for FPS may not bring a better VRR technology, and a super expensive GPU may not bring the best fidelity if it doesn't have DLSS or Fidelity FX. Take advantage of innovation when you upgrade and don't pigeonhole yourself into upgrading sooner than you need to. Hey, so that's a wrap on this video, you guys. I hope it was informative for you. I'm planning to make a lot more videos just like this one based on your request. I've been requested to do these videos, so I'm gonna push them out as fast as I can. But I wanna let you know that we have a ton of content. It's in one of these boxes, it's a playlist. Click on it because it has tons of information on PCs, monitors, things like that that you guys will want to take advantage of and watch right now. So click that playlist wherever it's at so you can watch the next video. And until the next time, I'll catch you on the next video.